Hello! This is a show where we bring creative people together. We have a little bit of a talk, we talk about our hopes, and we dash our fears about the future of our industry post-COVID.
Just before we get cracking, what I did want to talk about, so we've got this freelancer or freelance task force, which I think is really, really important. First of all, because apparently sort of almost 2/3 of that group class themselves as working class, which is probably the first time in our industry that has ever happened. And secondly, because it's really important that it's not just, producers and big production houses and, sort of artistic directors that are at the table making the decisions as the industry starts to come back. I'm not saying they'd make bad decisions necessarily, but it's important that the freelancers have a voice. So it's a really important thing. I'm
going to say that to me, and it kind of stems on that idea of kind of traditionally, the big production houses, the big producers, those typical names who not necessarily currently are working class, because if they're big producers and big directors and all that, they've probably moved up a little bit.
Maybe.
That would be the worry, wouldn't it? That if it's the same old faces, then it's the same old choices.
Yeah.
Now that COVID is kind of reset everything, that there's an opportunity for change for the better. And the more new people and new voices we get around a table, I think is probably the best thing. That is kind of what I've been banging on about in my little ranty hope things last couple of weeks.
And to be fair, I've been feeling quite positive because I've built a fence.
So you talk to me.
I've chopped up. No, not until I talk to you. I've chopped a load of trees down, feeling good about the week, feeling good about things. Got a self-tape through, which is great. The inquiries have started to trickle in, which is brilliant. Show reels have started to pick up a little bit, which is great. All the stuff. So everything starts to look good. And then YouTube dropped this bomb and it's really pissed me off. But I'm not going to let it anymore. So
I think we have an avenue. We have viewers. There are people watching. We have guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Yeah.
It could be worse.
And even Twitch gave us our URL without pissing about going through 100 subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Let's get our guests in. Come on. Oh, we're very lucky to have both Steph and Claire with us. Hello, ladies. How are we doing?
Oh,
hello.
How are you?
Oh, despite what I've just said, I'm actually tickety-boo, thank you. I'm really good. Life isn't bad at all. And I was watching. I think it was on Twitter. It might have been Instagram. I can't remember which one it was. And there was a video of a guy. I don't know whether you saw it. And it said, post-lockdown, when you've got to go back to work. And he was sat on the floor. Did you see it? By his back door, and his wife was going, "You've got to go to work to it." He's going, "I'm not going. I'm not going to work. I want to play in the pool." "No, you've got to go." "I don't need money. I'm going to play in the pool." Yeah, it's sort of a bit like that, isn't it? Yeah. Used to not having to do anything. But how's it been going, Steph? I'll start with you. How's lockdown? How's things generally?
Yeah, all right. I feel a bit weird saying it, but it's been all right. Yeah. I'm doing a PhD at the minute, so I've just had loads of time to talk to people and do that, and I've got some writing projects which have been going really well. So it's nice to have the time to do.
Because you've been doing some kids' stories stuff as well, haven't you?
Yeah. So I wrote 85 personalised children's stories. So I did one every single day.
As you do.
People got in touch, sent me their details about their kid, their name, their age, favourite things, and then I wrote them a personalised story. And I've said that I've stopped, but I'm actually working with 2 different charities now, so I'm just doing it sort of for them rather than publicly now. But it's been bloody lovely.
I got slightly confused with your PhD because I thought you'd finished it. So I thought you were officially now Dr. Steph Lacey.
No. Oh my goodness, that'll be in a year's time. I'm pre-Dr. Steph Lacey right now.
Okay, all right then.
But yeah, a year and a half left. So I'm supposed to be at the minute doing my field work. So I'm looking at female homelessness and the effects on children's education. So I'm supposed to be out interviewing people at the moment to talk about their experience, but obviously it's just stopped because of this. So I've had to find other ways, but it's very strange time. But it's nice to have time to think.
Claire, how are we?
How can I follow this? How can I follow that?
Listen, don't even just don't try. Honestly, every so often we just get some right smart asses on, right? And
I
it,
might leave the call. That's incredible. I've
and
been
it's
so unproductive.
it's sort of, listen, you haven't been as unproductive as I have. Let me tell you. Apart from doing this, I've done nothing.
I've done nothing as well, Lee. So I think we're probably quite similar. I've just had no motivation to or want actually through the lockdown to do anything to do with acting or which I think is a positive actually for me. I think you just have to not feel that pressure and take that time. But yeah, I've done nothing productive. So I think it's like probably the first time and maybe the only time in our careers where we're not having that sort of conversation of what have you got coming up, because people are kind of understanding that this is the pandemic. We don't have things. They're not asking those questions, and that's new. So I'm embracing this.
I'm with you all the way. I've got my first one-to-one with a casting director who I've actually worked for the casting house, but I've never met this casting director. Tomorrow, and it sort of came through. I don't know whether you've done any of them. It's the first one I've done, and it came through, and it just sort of said, "Come prepared with questions." And I'm thinking, what the fuck am I going to ask? I'm just going to end up having a chat like this, and we're going, so what have you been doing then? Have you found what do you reckon is this task force?
Just don't ask them how many loo rolls they've had.
I might do. Yeah. I might do. I'm going to try and get her on.
I think it's been productive in like other ways with sort of, well, not really skills, but more reading, more random stuff and running a little bit. That sort of helps, a bit of a routine. And I've got a temp job at Morrison's, which took ages to get anything. Like you said, there is just so many people going for anything, and which, well, I'm leaving in like 2 weeks. They don't know that. Maybe they're watching this. They might be
news to them.
Doubt it, but you've heard it here first. I'm proud of it really, because there's a lot of things sort of like early days online where people were sort of having a bit of a joke about working at a supermarket through this, and it's made me appreciate how much work goes into that. And it's been intense, and I'll be pleased maybe to stop, but at the same time I've enjoyed it. I've made lifelong friends. So
there was a point, wasn't there, and we were still doing the weekly clap and all that, where supermarket workers, healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, there was a real kind of buoyancy and appreciation, which felt a little bit London 2012 for about a week and a half, and then everybody fucked off to the beach and pissed everybody else off.
Have you got a song for our isolation playlist?
Yeah, I have. I won't sing it.
Why not?
Everybody else has.
So it's Make Me Feel by Janelle Monáe.
Okay.
I love it. It makes me happy.
That sounds like a song which I will know when I hear it, but I've no idea who that is.
It's a couple of years old. It's got a very sort of Prince vibe to it. I just think Janelle Monáe is incredible. She's brilliant.
Sing it, Steph. Sing it.
I will not do that to her.
You piqued my interest though with it sounding a little bit like Prince. Prince was awesome, so.
I think he helped record on one of her albums, and it might have been that album that he did a synth beat for her. Yeah.
He was a clever dude. Really, really, like an underappreciated genius, that guy. And I say underappreciated considering
Prince.
Yeah. Like if you look at guitar, I mean, having spent a decade in a band, you kind of get a little bit wanky about guitarists and stuff, and you buy the Guitarist magazine. Prince was never in it, and Prince was one of the single greatest guitarists of the last kind of 40 years. Utterly amazing, like wipes the floor with people who are lauded today.
So, well, when you said Twitch, like the only thing that I've like seen on Twitch is like sort of like karaoke thing. So I was a little bit concerned going into this chat because I was a bit worried. But anyway, the song probably Stevie Wonder, like any of them anyway. But Probably for once in my life, just because it just makes me feel great. So,
You can't beat Stevie Wonder, can you?
You can't, can you?
He's amazing.
Underrated. Are you going to go and say tell him it's not appreciated, underappreciated?
I think his back catalogue certainly is much larger than what his mainstream, probably what people think of him.
I think that's probably true.
I Just Called to Say I Love You is probably the first song most people think of, but you don't go back and listen to Little Stevie Wonder, do they?
Maybe they do.
I mean, I don't own any Stevie Wonder. I own one Stevie Wonder album, so I can't really say that I'm an expert.
Maybe they do.
Fair enough. Okay. So sticking. I'm happy.
Great.
I'm happy with Stevie Wonder. I don't think we've got any Stevie Wonder on there, have we?
No.
Excellent. So sticking with you, Claire, what's the most coronavirus thing you've done?
So I played tennis against a wall.
Did you win?
Did you win?
I'm sure it was a tough one, but I won.
Good.
Yeah, I just really fancied a game of tennis, and I just went in the garage, got a tennis racket out, and just went for it. And it didn't last very long because I just got bored very quickly. But that's probably the most coronavirus. I also ordered a paint by numbers.
Which didn't arrive.
No, it arrived. Arrived. Yeah, it's shit. It's awful.
Have you got it to hand?
It's downstairs. I could grab it. I'm about 3/4 of the way through, but I'm just not wanting to look at that anymore.
Okay. All right.
It doesn't look anything like what it said on the tin.
It's a work in progress. It's fine.
It's had my life. Like the colours they sent don't look anything like what it looks like. I was expecting I could grade this, and it's awful. My, art teachers at school told me, please, don't take it for GCSE. So, it's paint by numbers felt like a good option, and it's actually quite hard. It sounds really easy, but I don't have the patience, and I've started to make up my own sort of image now because I'm just I'm mixing the colours and just experimenting.
Well,
yeah, going rogue.
You can tell.
Renegade.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it now. Okay, good, excellent. So, Steph.
So I had my 30th birthday in lockdown, and we couldn't get any flour or any birthday cake. Well, I didn't try. My mum tried, and so she bought me a little tub of birthday cake flavoured ice cream with a candle in it, because she couldn't get any flour because of and also moaned a lot about not having a haircut.
Yeah, all right.
Probably can't tell, but I need one.
Well, I don't. It doesn't look too bad to me.
Vices. So everybody seems to have had a vice while they've been in lockdown, whether it's been baking, whether it's been boozing, whether it's been Zoom quizzes, something that you've kind of had as a crutch to kind of keep you sane. Steph, let's stay with you.
Oh, don't know.
I'm so glad I stayed with you for that one.
Yeah, me too. Maybe my kids' stories, just having to write a story every day and record it and post it because I'd promised a child. You can't break a promise to a child.
No, that's why you should never make promises to children.
But that actually has made me sort of get up and get ready and put my makeup on every day, so it's felt a bit more normal.
Yeah.
And eat it. I just can't stop eating everything.
Have you
going to the fridge 40th time and it's still the same packet of carrots? I want a carrot.
I think probably running, even though I hate every second of it. Hate it. And, it's a real push to actually get out there. But I feel like it just helps into a bit of a routine. It does help me. It's like a fight with yourself is running, isn't it? Kind of halfway round, I just want to have a bit of a paddy, and I think it gets out some anger.
Yeah.
I don't have a paddy in the middle of the day.
That would be brilliant, though.
I mean, it would be interesting just on my own. So I think it has been that, and then and my paint by numbers probably has helped a little bit. Not at the moment, but before that probably did. But
I had a really weird thing at the beginning of lockdown because everything was about the only way to go outside is for exercise, and I'm disabled. I use a wheelchair and I can't run. And then it was just this really weird thing where I was being heckled by old men like, that's cheating, and I'm like, I'm going speed 5, leave me be.
Were you really getting heckled by people?
All the time. Everyone thought they were original as well. Every 2 minutes, like, you're cheating. I'm like, oh. Carry on with your rondo.
I got a t-shirt going, no, I'm not cheating.
It was so weird. I was like, I'm working this finger out, don't mind me. Because it's an electric wheelchair as well, so I couldn't even say I was pushing it. So
I think that's brilliant.
So it was really weird. Like, the only way you're allowed outside is for some exercise, but I'm not having any. I have to pretend somehow to be like bobbing along.
Carry a dumbbell for the other arm, so like you're working it with one arm and just...
Yeah.
I'm exercising. Go off.
Everyone's out on their back. Everybody's like, it's like the Tour de France on the way to work. Like, I'm having to dodge left, right, and centre from these like cyclists and stuff. It's just constant. But what you said a little bit earlier about like having a reward after, it's a little bit worrying when people, I've seen it quite a lot through lockdown as well, that kind of are saying, I'm going to run so I can eat this, or I can justify eating. And that's actually a little bit worrying. That's like something that, you know, is not a healthy, just eat it.
Yeah, which is my mantra. Just eat it.
What was the last thing that you said to an live audience?
A long time ago, when things were different.
Was that the last line?
Yeah, of Oliver Twist by Bryony Lavery. I shouldn't have said that because I don't think it tells you anything, does it? But yeah, and I bloody loved saying it and all.
Did you? Was it? Yeah. It wasn't the very last line in the play, was it?
Yeah.
Did you have the very last line?
Everybody, it's the last line.
Oh, marvelous! It was a lovely
ensemble, so it was beautiful.
Because it was due to go on tour, wasn't it, after the run?
Yeah, so we had a week left at Leeds Playhouse, and then we were supposed to be going to Sheffield Crucible, Birmingham Rep, Nottingham Playhouse, Stratford East, Theatre Royal.
Wow.
Is that all? Is that? I can't remember. Ipswich, Wolseley.
Yeah. Do you know what? The Wolseley Ipswich is my favourite theatre.
Is it?
Favourite space to play. It's a wonderful space to play. I absolutely love it.
It was Oliver Twist, a new commission from Leeds Playhouse, written by Bryony Lavery. And it was part of the Ramps on the Moon consortium. So it sort of puts deaf and disabled artists front and centre, but also works with hearing and non-disabled artists also. Oliver Twist in our version was deaf. So Fagan's gang were all deaf or could communicate in sign. And it was just incredible to be that. But do you know what? One thing, sorry, I've been turned down from jobs before, right? Because people are like, oh, sorry, you use an electric wheelchair. It just doesn't fit in the world. So, can't do it. But
because they'd prefer you to have a manual wheelchair?
Or just fuck off altogether, I think.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
I think that's where it's been. But so Oliver Twist, obviously Dickensian, they built me a wheelchair, which was incredible. I was like steam-powered punk. Like, it had steam coming out the back of it. It was incredible. It had like bike chains chugging me up and down. I loved it. So I wanted the world to see, like, don't tell me I don't fit. If you want to try, I will. I just felt like a badass, just like rolling around in this such a cool chair, just like pumping steam. I wanted it, to be honest, in my life. But yeah, it was incredible. So just audiences coming to see that, and it being part of the story, and nobody was apologising for being deaf or disabled, and I think that was an incredible thing. Also, in terms of homelessness, obviously that's what Oliver Twist is about, essentially, is this homeless boy trying to find a home somewhere. And for me, with my PhD looking at homelessness, and I was homeless for a long time when I was younger, so the power to affect an audience was incredible for me. So there were people coming up to us afterwards saying, after I've seen this, I've gone and volunteered for a homeless charity, or I've taken food to a food bank. And I'm just like, bloody hell, this is what theatre's for, isn't it? Yeah, I just thought it was incredible. So for me, it was a shame to stop, because I thought it was really good. And I felt just so lucky to be doing it, because I just haven't been acting that long. You taught me my first thing, so thanks for that. It's going all right.
I know, and then the fucking virus comes and messes it up.
I didn't swear then.
I know. I did. So's mum. Good, excellent. Claire, what was the last thing that you said to a live audience?
Oh, I think it was quite aggressively get up, not to the audience. That was not directed to the
Get out, it's time to go home. Get up, go on.
Get up, get out.
Go on. Piss off.
Bad enough. Get up. Yeah, so that was not the last line. That would be a really strange last line. But yeah, and it was in at the Lawrence Batley Theatre.
Nice.
For Alan Ayckbourn's Absurd Person Singular. So
excellent. Is that the play that you took to New York?
Yeah. So then we came back to Huddersfield with it after that. So spent December out there, and then came back in January and did it at Huddersfield.
You just spent December out there in New York.
Yeah, one of the
as you do.
one of the capitals of live theatre on the planet.
As you do. Yeah.
I mean, it was incredible, and it was like such a family. We ended up, we were living together, and it was brilliant. And then it's just really interesting, like the difference in the audiences from which I just didn't expect, really. I think I went in quite naive. Sense of humor, everything is completely different, and that was really interesting. So we had to change things up over there.
Did you change things up on the fly, or did somebody have the heads up for that?
We know in the middle of the show. I think you can obviously sense when things feel maybe a little bit different.
When everybody's walking out.
Yeah. We've been rehearsing this, and we worked hard, and we felt we had a great show, and we felt proud of it. And then it's the pausing. They don't really. I can't say every American doesn't really see the pause, but we played the pauses, and that is very much Ayckbourn as well. And I think they thought that we'd forgotten lines, so we had to really speed. They would just crack through it, like it'll feel a bit unnatural, but they will pick, and we did pick up. And then we brought it back to Huddersfield, and then we brought back the pauses, and they were like doubled over laughing and reading into those pauses and the moments. So it was really interesting. I learnt a lot from it. So yeah,
that is interesting, and it's kind of as an audience, we kind of share a language and share a common history and all that kind of stuff, but for it to be that different in terms of how they're reacting to just something as simple as a pause, as a beat, is a really interesting kind of thing.
Let's move on, because we're cracking on time wise. Have we got Steph, with you? Have we got a favourite moment, a favourite industry moment?
I don't know if it's one specific moment, but my favourite part of the industry is DANC, the Disabled Artists Networking Community, run by a company called Triple C, who are incredible. And they bring industry guests in to meet disabled professionals, because there is such a lack of representation in the industry and so many barriers to accessing opportunities, that those connections are sort of quite often missed. And with people as well being, because of them, more open to thinking about things in a different way, and actually not seeing a disabled character as a risk, just an opportunity to reflect society. And they work so bloody hard, and just having that community to go to and feel I don't have to explain anything, you get it, I get you, we're all together, to have those important connections with the industry. So they bring like producers, casting directors. So I'm on a writing program with them at the moment, so I'm developing my TV spec script. Have had opportunities come from that. I think that is one of my favourite areas, actually, just a group of people doing a bloody good thing to help other people, which is really lovely. So thanks to Dank.
Absolutely. That's great. That's really probably one of the best answers we've had. So, yeah, that's really good. Claire?
Do I follow that? I think it is.
Be frivolous. Be frivolous. That's how you follow it.
Well, I think it's hard to like pinpoint a sort of moment, but there was last year I did a short film which was sci-fi, and I haven't done that before. And I think when I got on set and the amount of work that had gone in, you know, with the crew, and it was incredible. Like visually, just they put so much work into it that it's one of those moments where you're like, wow, that's really cool. And just for it to sort of pay off for them as well, that all that work, and they're relatively new to the like industry, so for them to be so like determined, they work so hard, and it was just really cool that the lights, the colors, it was like proper neon, like sci-fi, just really cool. So that's probably just through other people as well, you know, hard work, and that was great to be a part of. So.
And can you say what that project? What was it? What's it called?
Sorry, I didn't even say the name of it. So it's called Venus.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Venus, and there's such a nice group of people that it was just such a pleasure to be a part of. And yeah, I really hope that they get everything out of it that they wanted to. I think with it, so it's in edit. It's in edit now.
Post. Okay.
Yeah, post now. So. Yeah.
Fair enough. Is this something we'll be able to see? Will you be sharing it?
I think at some point. I think there's a trailer out now, and they're wanting to turn it into a feature. So they're trying to get some funding behind them after the short has been completed. So yeah, fingers crossed for them. I think it is awesome. It was something completely different for me, and to be trusted with, I was an android in it, and to be trusted with doing that without having that on like a show reel or having that, you know, on my credits. It was a bit of a risk for them possibly, and to have that, to be trusted with that, was really cool. It was completely different. So I'd maybe have a look at what. So
did you do a lot of green screen with that then?
No, not really. No, it was like night shoots that so no green screen. They actually created this. It was like an alleyway, and they and when they showed the photos in the initial like meetings, I was like, oh, that looks really cool. But you know, you don't. It sounds awful, but I did expect what actually they created, because it was insane, and they had spent a lot of time just making this huge alleyway look really spectacular. So, and it's paid off. But there's a lot of post like production with it, because obviously like the effects and stuff. So, but yeah, that was awesome.
Brilliant, good stuff. Okay, big question. But we've sort of talked a little bit about it anyway, so it's probably not a massive answer. What are your hopes for the industry? What do you feel like we're going to do? We're going to be?
I hope that the energy kind of comes back for, especially theatre is a worry, so not a fear. We won't kind of slightly going down there. But I think, I think the energy. Hopefully people are craving sort of, you know, seeing performances and getting back into theatres, but it is quite a worrying time. But I think hopefully people have learned through this a little bit of time to step back and to have a think through, like, you know, maybe behaviours or pressures, or making, you know, it a little bit easier for yourself going back into the industry. So I think my hope is just to go in a stronger position, having and using it as more of a positive, I think, and taking on board everything that's happening at the moment, you know, with the different movements. And I think it's just super important. So hopefully that kind of continues back into the industry as well.
You can talk about your fear if you want. What's your fear?
Not having any work.
Yeah.
It is theatre, I think, and it is just the unknown, and it's the not knowing how that, I can't picture this in my head, and knowing that a lot of it comes from energy from audience, and if it's a very small, or, you know, if it's really sparse, then that's quite maybe a little bit tough, and I think as well with screen, it's just not being able to like picture how it's working and how I'd cope with this, and I think that is a fear, definitely. So
good. Okay, Steph.
My hope is that we're more representative when we go back of real life, that all the people who are talking about being anti-racist now, that continues to be reflected in the work that's actually made, and not just like a white writer given a black character a token in the script, but actually making space for those voices to come through, and doing that authentically. And also in terms of disability as well, that actually we see a change of, we're here, we can do it. My fear is in going back, I think things are being rushed back quite a lot. And I think there's a gap in actually we're going to be left behind quite a bit, because there is this idea of what is vulnerable, who can go back. So if you haven't got a doctor's note, for example, then actually that does not mean that you still not are susceptible to what's going on now, and your fears about that are very real. So are there going to be the roles out there to go back to, but how safely is that going to be done, and how I think I'm scared of the disabled people are going to get left behind. So my hope is that we're more representative, but I think there is that danger of worrying about health issues on the production side of things that will actually put us further back than we started. The government have put the productions in a very unfair situation, and they're saying if you haven't got these specific 5 things or whatever it might be, then you're okay to go back to work. But actually not understanding the nuances of disability or like bodily conditions that actually affect that. So the government's saying, yeah, you're all fine to go back, but actually it's still being a very real risk outside. The outside, I think, puts everybody in an uncomfortable position. It makes you uncomfortable to have those conversations, because actually, well, the government have said it's fine, so do you want your job or not? I think it's just, I think there's yes, people are looking to them, but actually, how awkward is it still for you as a person to have those conversations when the powers that be above are saying that it should be okay, so just get on with it. And if you can't get on with it, then that's where that gap gets bigger and bigger, I think. And then how do we overcome that after? It's like you've already got to work twice as hard to have got your opportunity, and now you've got to work 10 times as hard to keep it. So I don't know, I think it's just
and be willing to take more risk potentially.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that's fair. Interesting. I guess time will tell. But
it'll be bloody nice to be in a room with people again, won't it, when it all comes back? That's my hope, that we all have a bloody good time.
It'll be really nice to be in a room again. Really nice, especially rehearsal room. Really, really nice. I suspect I'll be on a set again before I'll be in a rehearsal room, but you know, who I might not be. Who knows?
Well, we've got shoot, so you'll be on a set.
I'll be on a set. I'll be on one of our sets.
My family have got so involved. I had to make a comedy show reel in lockdown, and I was with my family at the time, and they were getting involved, and I think they want to be actors now. They've got big dreams. So we might have double the amount.
More the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. More the merrier.
I want to say the amount of people who've been doing those dances on Twitter to that Icelandic Eurovision thing, which is like
it's
pure
really
genius.
Good, though, that.
Yeah, I mean that song would have just won anyway because it would ace.
Yeah.
But the amount of those I've seen is incredible. Of just like oh man, I forgot her name, but she does kind of like the Sarah Cooper thing where she does the Donald Trump, but she does like Priti Patel and some of the news interviews, and I forget her name. I think it's Abby. It might be Abby Clark. Might be. I'll have a look and I'll tweet it. She's fantastic.
Right. So I for my grandma's birthday, she lives down the road. I'm back north for lockdown. And I thought that for a birthday we'd do like a TikTok because she likes dancing, so socially distanced, of course. And it was for like family and friends, and I didn't realise that TikTok like posted it out. It's not like just your private page. So, and it went, and it's gone viral. So.
Properly gone viral.
1.3 million views.
Jesus.
Yeah, and now everyone's like, oh, do more, and it's just like, oh God, it doesn't feel great actually. Like,
No.
There's a little bit of pressure now.
Pressure now. I'm kind of a big deal on TikTok. It's only because of my grandma. It's only because of my grandma. That's it.
You need to get on that. That sounds like there's money coming. Those sorts of figures.
Yeah. Well, a brand got in contact to send some some popcorn. I don't know how to say it. And I was like, and at the start you think that's great, like a big box of popcorn. I'm about that. But then you think this looks like I'm using my gran.
You are?
Popcorn. Yeah. And actually,
does your gran not like popcorn?
No, she was well up for it. She was well like, yeah, let's do this. And I thought this looks terrible. Like people are like, have enjoyed this video, and then the next one we're like holding like bags of popcorn.
A packet of popcorn and a Costa.
I'm like, gran, dance. Like trying to force it, and like it just so bad. I was like, I can't do this.
Get up, dance.
Yeah, get up. That was what it was.
And she fell over in the garden as well. So she had a black eye. She fell over in the garden, and I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do a video with you with a black eye. It looks like I've been beating her up to do.
Could you not do a pirate theme and she has a patch?
She is an absolute legend, and she just completely stole the show. So she's got some great moves. But yeah, so that's happened, and didn't really expect that. So
brilliant.
And now I just haven't followed it with anything, and I've just got loads of followers, and they're just sat there thinking.
How many followers from it?
I've got quite a few thousand, and it's only like one video. So
all sat there waiting.
Yeah.
When's the next one?
And they're going to be waiting a while, to be quite honest, because I don't think it's going to happen. Although it would be quite cool to.
I think you've got to follow it up with at least one. You have to.
It has to obviously.
Even if you're just saying like, I'm not doing any more, just do a TikTok of that.
It would be funny if it was just me doing something, and then I just got loads of abuse under like, "Where's your gran?" Like,
yeah, who were you? Yeah, where's your gran? Where's the talent?
That feels a little bit.
What you could do is go on and tell Mike's window cleaners story.
Yeah,
you could just do that.
It's a good story, that. Nobody would believe that I used to do stand-up with this quality kind of material.
Look at the time. Look at the time. Look, have we seen your painting?
No.
Oh no, I thought you'd forgotten about that.
That could be your next TikTok.
It could be. I was actually thinking of it. Do you know, like one of those things where you buy something and then it's not how you. What is it called? I can't remember. It's like reality versus
expectation.
Yeah, that's it.
So are we going to see this picture before we sign off or not? What?
Well, we can do. I'll have to run downstairs. So.
Well, go on then. You've been running.
It's all right. I've got a story about a milkman.
So while Claire's gone to get that, I'll quickly say, so we don't have to do it afterwards. We're back on Wednesday. Back on Twitch on Wednesday. Might be back on YouTube. Who knows? They may see the error of their ways. Oh, we might not go back. Who knows?
Yeah, we might just stay on Periscope and Twitch.
Yeah. We're back with actor, writer, filmmaker, photographer Dermot Daly, and actor, singer Jack Brindle on Wednesday. Very much looking forward to catching up with both of those dudes. And yeah, that's that.
I love how you're still trying to keep that youth market, throwing in the occasional dude.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Does it just make me look silly?
It doesn't all feel awkward.
No, really looking forward to chatting to Dermot and Jack on Wednesday, and having another good chin. Oh, she's back.
Hello. I'm out of breath. Right.
Have we got a big reveal?
Well, we've got this. This is not what I've done. So this is what it's like meant to look like.
Move it back just a little. Okay, yeah, nice dog and a duck and a cat.
Look at the duck in particular. Like it's really nice blending and.
Yeah, there's some skill there.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at this. Like, look at the colour. It's just the tackiest thing you've ever seen. Look at the duck. And that's the colour they sent for the duck.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm a little bit.
There's only two numbers on the duck, that one and that one.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be able to frame this. I actually genuinely thought I was going to have this for life. But
you could frame it.
Yeah.
I can't even look at it.
I mean, it's a definite interpretation of the original.
Yeah.
They've just had me over with it. And you can see the numbers through the paint, and I don't have enough paint to cover the numbers, but the duck, you can see a number 3 on the. I don't know if you can see the numbers, but.
Oh, actually, yeah.
All of them.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I think, to be fair though, Claire, I think you're not the only one. I think they've made a small fortune then painting by numbers, people. They're fair, and in many respects, fair play to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I need to finish it though. I feel like it is part of lockdown and I need to finish that. And just to see how shit it looks at the end more than anything. I think it's going to get worse. It's not looking any better. Normally they say, it comes together. It's just terrible. I might see, sell to the highest bidder at the end and see what.
Go for it. Yeah. Get your grand to sign it and auction it off on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could happen.
Yeah. Well, lovely people, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been lovely to catch up with you both. Please stay safe and well. We will wrap the show up. You're welcome to stay on for a quick chat afterwards if you want, but by all means log off. It's entirely up to you. But it's been lovely.
Die, so it will
go. It'll probably go.
Yeah.
But
we've never had anybody log off while we're still broadcasting.
Welcome to your first time.
Yeah. While you're still yeah.
Live. What can you say live? It's the beauty of live broadcasting.
Yeah.
But yeah, truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. It's so nice to see you both, and so glad you're both looking great. And I look forward to seeing you in the flesh some point very soon.
Yeah, great to see you too.
Thank you very much.
It's lovely to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
See you guys. Bye. But very good.
So yeah, I mean, the reason why I say it's lovely is genuinely I always come away from these having a lot of the time met somebody new. I mean, we've worked with Steph before. Claire, I don't think I've worked with, so it was lovely to meet her. I like finding creative people and people who are say inspirational things, whether it is just a case of that's how you go out and run every day or finish your shit painting. Twitch.com/Totally Showreels.
It's twitch.tv.
Oh, sorry. Twitch.tv/Totally Showreels. Twitter.com/Totally Reels. So don't put the show in. It's the same word but without show, so it's Totally Reels.
We'll see everybody Wednesday.
Yep.
Looking forward to it. Dermot Daly, Jack Brindle. Very, very much looking forward to that. Look out for the links and everything else, and see you later on.
Yep, roll credits.